Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, let's wait for others, okay?
Okay.
Hello, thank you.
Hello,
Will you
nice to see you.
Hello，阿 Sir 你聽唔聽到？
阿兔聽到，我聽到 Tango，Carter 喺度，拉
你聽唔聽到我？
聽到，
我講緊嘢你聽唔聽到？
聽到，
咁得啦，冇嘢啦。
Where is okay? Cleo is here. Iron, are you here?
其他人我唔知。
Iron 啊。Yeah, so maybe we can start now, okay? Okay, so we can start now, okay? So let's go to the okay, I'm going to talk about...
我未買到咪啊，我呢邊可能會好嘈，我細佬會大嗌㗎。
Okay, maybe I will okay, let me
所以唔好意思啊。
唔緊要，我會 mute 咗你得㗎啦。Okay, 得。Okay, so for others, please give me some response, okay? For others, please give me some response. I need your response, okay?
Okay,
please for others, please make some noise, okay? Okay. So okay, so let's go to this. Okay, so okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
And can you see the PowerPoint? Yeah. Yeah. Now, so first of all, I'm going to talk about the comparison between Rio de Janeiro and Hong Kong. Rio de Janeiro is a big city in Brazil. Okay, it's the second largest city in Brazil, and over 20% of people of Brazil live in these squatter areas known as favelas. This is Spanish. Favelas means squatter areas. And actually, you can easily find squatter areas near our school. For example, do you know there is a village next to our school called Port Fulam Village, Port Fulam Chun? Do you know? There is a village called Port Fulam Village near our school. Did any one of you go to make the paper dragon? 有冇人去過整個
No, I didn't.
Did any one of you make the paper dragons?
No.
No. Okay, so some of our students went to that village to make paper dragons. So this is the squatter area, okay? And then since 1920s, millions of people from rural areas moved, okay, to Rio de Janeiro for jobs. However, the houses are very expensive, so they can only build the illegal houses, okay, on the hillsides, okay? Okay, so they can only build the illegal housing on the on the hillsides, okay? So next, Kata, can you see the screen, Kata? Kata. Laiba, can you see the screen? Laiba.
Yeah, I can.
Good. Now let's look at the basic information about this city, Rio de Janeiro. Now this city is in the southeast of Brazil here, okay? And then it's about the size of Hong Kong. It's almost as big as Hong Kong. And it has 6.5 million. I think it has 7 million, okay? So the population size and the area are similar to those of Hong Kong. But of course, people in Rio de Janeiro are much poorer than the people in Hong Kong, okay? And this is, okay, the map of this city. And you see, okay, this is the high income residential area, high income, rich people live there, or central business district. And then here, this is the middle class district, okay? And this is the low income residential areas. And this is the residential zone. And you see, those squatter areas, favela, are mainly distributed in the middle class area, but you can also see some favelas in the high income area, okay? So this is the distribution of land use in Rio de Janeiro. And you see, in favelas, wow, the living condition is very crowded. Wow, very crowded, okay? And it's overcrowded living environment. And but what similarities are there between Rio de Janeiro favelas and the squatter areas in Hong Kong? First of all, they are low-income residential areas. Remember, low-income residential areas. So houses are illegally built, okay? And the living environment is poor, okay? And the living environment is poor. Houses are illegally built, and the living environment is poor. And these areas lack water, no water, and electricity supplies, okay? And next, the differences. There are more than 800 favelas in Rio, but in Hong Kong, many squatter areas have been cleared. So, Theo, I want to ask you, in Hong Kong, if poor people don't live in squatter areas, where do they live? Cleo, can you hear me? Mark, can you hear me, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, in Hong Kong, poor people live in which area? If they don't have squatter areas to live, where do they live?
On the streets.
Yes, some rough sleepers.
House?
House, what kind of houses? Big houses or small houses?
Not Hong Kong houses.
Yeah, Hong Kong houses, maybe public housing estate. The first of all is public housing estate, and then they may live in subdivided flats, okay? Two kinds of houses. Subdivided flats in Mong Kok, and then maybe a public housing estate, okay? So now the squatter areas have been cleared, okay? And however, okay, in Brazil, there are many squatter areas, and then you can see robberies, violence, and drugs in those favelas, okay? And the violence is very rampant in those squatter areas, favelas in Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so many people are killed in the favelas because of drug dealing. But in Hong Kong, the crime rate in the squatter areas is very low because the police has done a lot to stop the crime in the squatter areas in the past. And then next. Okay, any questions? Okay, and then another difference is that the favelas, the squatter areas in Rio are close to high income areas in the city center. But in Hong Kong, the squatter areas are at the edge, okay, are at the edge of urban areas, okay? Okay, now these are the differences between Rio de Janeiro and Hong Kong. And I will give you a piece of homework about this today, okay? So, and next, okay, I'm going to talk about the difference, let me see. I will going to talk about, okay, the urban problems, okay? Okay, so urban problems. Okay, so can you see the PowerPoint urban problems? Okay, can you see this screen mat? Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about this in great detail. Urban problems. So, okay, so there are different urban problems like housing problems, traffic congestion, environmental pollution, and urban decay. Okay, let's look at the problems first. Okay. Okay, so there are some main urban problems: housing problems, traffic congestion, environmental pollution, and also urban decay in Hong Kong. Okay, so first of all, you see, wow, the buildings are very dense, packed together, are densely packed together, and the living space for individuals is very small in Hong Kong. Okay, so the housing problems, overcrowding, okay, overcrowding living environment, and because the urban areas of Hong Kong are densely populated, too many people live in a very small area, and then there is limited open space, and the building density is very high. You know, wow, in such a small area, there are many buildings. Okay, so and here, okay, now let's look at here. The urban area of Hong Kong is densely populated. For example, Kwun Tong is a very small area, okay? And then per square kilometer has 50,000 people. Wow, so many people in a very small area. And the overall environment is crowded, overcrowded, and limited open space. Okay, now this is the public estate near our school. It's near the station of the Kennedy Town. Have you gone to Kwun Tong now before? Daiba or Kata, have you gone to Kwun Tong now before? This public estate before? It's near the Kennedy Town MTR station. Actually, it's near our school. Okay. Leo, okay. Leo, I want to ask you a question. Okay, can you hear me, Cleo? Mark, can you hear me? Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you.
Yes.
Do people need to pay high rents if they live in public housing estates? Do people need to pay? Yeah, they don't need to pay expensive rents because the rent is covered by the government. The public housing estate, the public housing estates are provided by the government to ease the shortage of housing. Okay, and so why is there a shortage of housing? First of all, there's not enough supply of affordable housing in Hong Kong. The lack of supply of affordable housing in Hong Kong. And secondly, even though there are flats and houses available in Hong Kong, many people cannot afford a private housing. According to statistics, the private housing in Hong Kong the most expensive in the world. Okay, but Hong Kong people don't make a lot of money compared to Western countries. Okay, and here, okay, the average price per square meters in Hong Kong, on Hong Kong Island, in Kowloon, the average price is per square meters is 100,000. Okay, more than 100,000 in Kowloon. Okay, and then the monthly rent, wow, per square meters is 3 to 400. It's very expensive. Okay, so Cleo, Naiba, I want to ask you, okay, the prices and the rents of private housing in Hong Kong have kept increasing or decreasing? Anyone answer this question? Have kept increasing or decreasing? Can anyone answer me? Yeah, increasing. Okay, it's increasing. But I want to ask you, recently, the coronavirus is striking Hong Kong. Okay, so will the prices of houses drop because of the virus? What's your opinion?
I guess so, cause not too many people are like kind of living in Hong Kong now. Maybe.
People are still living in Hong Kong, but people are not
Working.
Not working. Yeah. People are not working, so they do not have money to pay for the rent or to pay for the housing. So the prices of housing will drop. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you are confident enough, maybe a few years later, it's a good time to buy to buy flats in Hong Kong. Do you know Amoy Garden in Outer Gore? Do you know Amoy Garden? 淘大花園 Amoy Garden. Do you know SARS? 10 years ago, okay, when SARS struck Hong Kong, people were very scared. So at that time, a flat in Amoy Garden cost only $500,000 Hong Kong dollars. $500,000. But now, $500,000. Yeah, $500,000. $500,000. It's true. It was true. But now, okay, a flat costs $5 million. That means if you dare to buy a flat when the virus struck Hong Kong, you may be able to make a huge profit. Okay, maybe 10 times. Okay. But of course, it's a risky action, okay? And that shows that, okay, the property prices are fluctuating, okay, depending on the economic situations, okay? Next. Okay, so here, now you see the housing problems in Hong Kong. This is the environment of a subdivided flats. People live on beds. They don't have a room, okay? But even so, these flats are not cheap, okay? If you want to have a bed here, maybe you need to pay $3,000 or $2,000. But you know, in China, for example, in Shunde, if you have 3,000 to 4,000, you can rent a 800 feet luxurious flat, okay? But in Hong Kong, you can only spend $3,000. It's only enough for you to buy a bed or a very crowded room. Okay, so people cannot afford houses, so they live in subdivided flats, in Chinese 劏房 and cage homes. Okay, and the living space is very small. Okay, and the small flat is shared by different people. Okay, so here, the supply of housing is not enough because, and then even though there is a supply of housing, the flats are too expensive. That's why people can only live in subdivided flats or cage homes. And the living environment is extremely poor. But in Hong Kong, about half of Hong Kong people, that means about 3 million, about 3 million Hong Kong people have their own houses. And then 31% of people live in public houses. That means about 20% of people are homeless or do not have any flats to live in. They can only rent a private flat. And if you want to, okay, apply for a public housing flat, you need to wait for 5.3 years, okay? As a result, the demand for a private house is increasing, okay? And that's why the rent for private housing has kept increasing, okay? And somebody said that the government wants to keep the land prices high. Why? The government can get a lot of money from land sales, okay? So because the land is very expensive, the flats are expensive too because the developers have to make money, okay? So actually, government is making a lot of money, substantial benefit from land sales. For example, in 2014, almost 20% of government's money was from land sales, okay? So that means if you buy a flat in Hong Kong, you are indirectly giving money to the government, okay? Do you understand this concept?
Yes, sir. LIBOR
Liba
can't say anything.
can't say anything?
Can't hear anything.
Can hear anything, okay. Actually, I have opened my microphone to every one of you. So maybe, actually, I have not muted Liba, so she should be able, let me check it, okay, mute. That means she can't hear me, and then I'm muting her. I'm muting her, that means she can hear me. Can you hear me, Liba? Okay, can you watch the screen? Can you watch the PowerPoint, Liba? Can you watch the PowerPoint, Liba? Can you watch the PowerPoint? I mean, by typing to you, can you watch the PowerPoint? Okay. Now let's look at here. Now this is the traffic congestion in Hong Kong. This is the Queen's Road East in Wan Chai. Okay. So traffic congestion is another urban problem in Hong Kong. First of all, traffic congestion usually occurs during rush hours, okay? When many people go to work or leave after work at the same time. And then it's common in the CBD, old urban areas and traffic bottlenecks because the roads are narrow, but many cars want to run through these roads, and this leads to traffic congestion, okay? So there is a heavy traffic flow in the CBD, okay? So, and then traffic congestion is frequent at the entrance of the Cross Harbour Tunnel in Hong Kong. This is the Polytechnic University. Yeah, it's the entrance of the Cross Harbour Tunnel in Hong Kong on the Kowloon side. And you can see many traffic congestions in Hong Kong. So I'm going to explain why traffic congestion happens in Hong Kong. First of all, there is not enough space in Hong Kong, lack of space. So it's difficult to build roads in Hong Kong. And many people don't like the government to build roads. Why? For example, environmental concerns, noise pollution, air pollution when building roads, okay? And then the construction sites may be a visual eyesore, okay? Maybe an eyesore may disrupt the environment, and then it may affect the existing traffic. Okay, so some people don't want any new roads to be built. Okay, in the old urban areas. Okay. Next. And the number of total licensed vehicles grew by about 30%, okay? From 500,000 in 2003 to 600,000, okay, in 2013. So each year, the number of cars grows by 3.4%. Yet the number of cars grows by 3.4%. Okay, and then the competent use of space is another reason why traffic congestion happens in Hong Kong. First of all, many lorries upload or unload goods on the roadsides, and these lorries block the roads. And sometimes, okay, buses, coaches need to pick up passengers, okay, or large passengers to get down the buses. And these large buses also occupy the roads in the city area. And sometimes coaches need to circulate on roads looking for parking spaces. Yes. And these three reasons explain why large vehicles always block the roads at the city center, okay? Of course, the government is doing something to stop illegal parking. But the punishment is not deterrent enough. For example, there is a 98% increase in the number of fixed penalty tickets. People still think that the punishment is not stringent enough, it's not heavy enough. Some people are willing to pay a few $100s for parking their cars on the roadside. Yeah, so that means the punishment is not severe enough. Yes? Any questions about the reasons for traffic congestion? Ahmad, any questions about the reasons of traffic congestion?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So next, go to the next slide. Okay. Now, and then next we will have environmental pollution. So, the first severe environmental pollution is air pollution in Hong Kong. Okay, so the air pollution in Hong Kong is it's not very serious compared to China, but the particles in the emissions from cars or in the polluted air can damage our breathing system, our respiratory system. And for example, remember this term, respirable suspended particulates from cars, vehicles, and power plants can infiltrate our lungs and cause lasting damage to our lungs and respiratory system. Okay. So, for example, there is severe roadside pollution in Central. So when the cars are waiting, they are still emitting exhaust fumes, and these exhaust fumes have suspended particulates, which can damage our lungs. Okay. So you see, the air pollution is even more severe in China. Okay. So in Zhujiang Delta, Pearl River Delta, the factories and the economic activities can cause air pollution. Okay. And these air pollutants are brought to Hong Kong by wind, okay? By wind. For example, this is, you can see the air pollution in Guangzhou. There is heavy smog in Guangzhou. But in recent years, Guangzhou city government has carried out drastic and effective measures to curb the air pollution. And now, the Guangzhou city has more than 200 days with a clear blue sky. So the Chinese government has done enough efforts to reduce air pollution. And it is foreseen that in the future, the pollutants brought to Hong Kong by wind will be reduced because of the effective measures by the Chinese government. Okay, any questions about the air pollution in Hong Kong? Okay, if Mark, do you have any questions about the air pollution in Hong Kong?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so next. Now you can look at the level of respirable suspended particles. In crowded areas like Causeway Bay, the concentration of suspended particles is very high. But you can also see the concentration is also very high in Yuen Long. Can anyone tell me why the air pollution is severe in Yuen Long? It's not at the city center, but why Yuen Long has a high concentration of suspended particulates? Why? Can anyone tell me? Yuen Long is near which place of China? Can anyone tell me? Tata, Yuen Long is near which place? Yuen Long is near which place in China? Mark, can you tell me, Yuen Long is near which place in China?
Beijing, no, Shenzhen.
Yeah, Shenzhen, yeah. Shenzhen is now a mega city, and every day it produces a lot of polluted air. And the polluted air from Shenzhen is drifted to Hong Kong by wind every day, and Yuen Long is near Shenzhen. That's why Yuen Long has severe air pollution. But Shenzhen is now carrying out drastic measures to reduce air pollution. You know, all taxis in Shenzhen are now electric vehicles, and that means the air pollution from traffic will be greatly reduced in Shenzhen because of the drastic measures by the Shenzhen government. Okay, so now this is the end of today's lesson. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions about today's lesson? Okay, so if you have no question now, we can end our lessons now, okay?
Okay.
Okay,